really pride myself in being a strong, I'm going to cry. That being a strong person, I am strong. You got me.
I'm so proud of you, like maintaining that feminine side at the same time, staying strong.
I can only be me, and I think that's what we all, are striving for in life, is to represent as our true self.
はい、皆さん、こんにちは。今日はですね、なんとジェフさんの奥様のサラさんにも特別クイックインタビューを引き受けていただきましたので、ここでご紹介をさせていただければと思います。CBS の60 Minutes のプロデューサーをされているということで、もう本当に正直男性ばかりの男社会の中でですね、美しいこのサラさんが脱腕でたくさんの番組を制作されているということなので、本当に私もお人柄に触れて、本当にフェミニンで素敵でかっこいいんですよね。ということなので、ちょっと特別いろいろ質問させていただければというふうに思います。Sarah, thank you so much for accepting this. I'm so thrilled to ask you some questions. So I think I left off, like what really made you to decide to plunge into this male chauvinistic dominated world of TV. So can you start with that?
Yeah. Well, I think growing up, my mother was a lawyer. And so she was one of, in the 1970s, so she, in her law school class, was one of like 19 women in a class of 120 men. So that was my role model growing up in a time, I grew up in the 80s, so it was in a time when a lot of the mothers that I grew up with were stay-at-home moms who didn't have careers, and my mom was going off to work every day. So that was my role model of being like, this is what women do. And you just persevere and you just go in. And I didn't even think about it as being a lot of men and, or just that, that it was a particularly tough world. It was more that I'd done an internship while in university. And I said, wow, TV is fun. Let's see where this goes. I mean, and that's the joy of being in your early 20s is that, things don't have, you can just try things and you can say, let's see where this goes and let's go on an adventure. And so,
and then that took you to here.
Yeah. So I went to graduate school because, it's funny because I just heard an interview with Bradley Cooper where he felt that he needed to go to acting school because he didn't know how to act. And I felt the same way about journalism, where you don't need to go to get a graduate degree, a real, formal education in it. You can just go in and start doing it. But I'm a tentative person. And I was like, I want to be trained and then I'll feel ready to go off into this world. So I'd done an internship as an undergrad, then went to grad school. And then from there did an internship at CBS News and was hired from that internship. And that's where I've been ever since.
Ever since?
Yeah.
Never left.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So news to 60 Minutes, was there a big jump or what?
So I'm still at CBS News, and at CBS News, 60 Minutes is one of the departments or one of the programs that aired. So I started jumping through the different, some
categories.
Some of the different departments. And then it took me about 5 or 6 years. And then I got a job at 60 Minutes and stayed there for 17 years and got my training. Yeah, if you just met my husband, he's an entrepreneur and, out, and I'm slow and steady and stable and stay the course.
Not slow at all.
But just not. I do things slowly. I don't do things abruptly or spontaneously. I'm very.
What you mean.
Yeah, okay, I don't do change very often, but everything that I do is thought through and considered before I do it and what it will mean.
Oh, so that's the reason why. I mean, when I met you for the first time at the wedding, like, wow, like well-grounded, like, stable, like stability.
Yeah. That's what I like. I'm the opposite to Jeff. I guess we'll wait for the siren. So unlike Jeff, he's an entrepreneur and wants to go out in the world and make his own way and do it, and has always been a boss and lead his own way. I've been more of the type of where I'm very good at working for a company. I'm very good at working for corporate, being the person that shows up, which is what he was talking about. I'm good at being the person that shows up every day. I'll be there. That's one of my strengths is I show up.
Wow. But, from I also was a little bit involved in TV, well, not news, more of a variety show. I was a regular, and I also used to work for QVC with the TV.
Wow.
So I'm a little bit familiar with that, TV production industry. Like a lot of hours.
Yeah.
A lot of editing,
Yeah.
a lot of details,
Yeah.
a lot of like analysis and checking and changing and perfecting everything. So like how did you deal with that demanding hours?
I mean, it's that I'm built for it. I have that. I mean, that's really what I'm struggling with now is going the other way is that I was so focused on my career for so long that now I'm in my mid 40s. I'm finally married. We have a child on the way, and I have to reorient my head to be like, work won't be coming first. I will have a new priority in life. So it's actually the opposite. That I was very good at being single and working, and the question is doing the opposite.
The reason why I laugh at the giggle is because I was that way.
Yeah.
So similar.
Yeah.
So my hardest part living here in the States with him is now I have to slow down and smell the flowers.
And decide, and and having a partner and being there for your partner, it's a big deal.
Wow. So was it a difficult decision to move here and juggle demanding job, and then also this your private happiness, starting your own family?
I mean, I think it's part of it was just that I was older, that I met Jeff when I was 40, and so for me, I felt like I had nothing to lose. I'd been on this career path in New York City for 20 years, and that it was time that I could take a risk, and I had enough of a career that I felt and there's enough opportunity in the Bay Area that if I lost my job, if they said, living in San Francisco doesn't work for us, you have to, we're sorry, we love you, but this isn't working. Then I would find something else. I think
you already had a plan B.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the joy of getting older and having experiences, that the changes that may have seemed very scary when you're younger are less scary because you have this experience, you have this assurance in your ability and your capabilities. So, I mean, I say that, but I haven't had to look for a new job. So, it's easy for me to say.
No, that's the station loves you, but that's the stability, like a stable performance you delivered in the past 2 decades, already. Okay, we want you.
That they were happy with me and were like, we know that you can go off and work. We trust you. You don't need to be in the office. Be with us in New York City for this to work.
That was actually one of my questions. Like, do you ever have to visit New York like once a year or quarterly?
So I actually last May I switched jobs, and I stayed at CBS News, but I left 60 Minutes, and I'm now coordinating. I'm the senior coordinating producer for medical and health reporting at for all of CBS News and stations is my title. And so with that, I have more flexibility of when I want to come to New York. And, I try and come fairly often because it is better to be in person. And there is something lost by being remote, but I think that our team works very well with me being remote, and it's just always a plus when I can be in New York City.
Okay, so how often do you go there?
I'd say I've been on average over the last year about every 2 months.
Oh, every 2 months. Okay,
not constant, but
that's
fairly
a good,
often.
I go back to Japan once every 3 months, so it's similar.
That there's a benefit to being there, but you can definitely be successful from remote.
Oh, good. So what do you think is your next big thing besides having a kid? Like, do you have your side project, or do you think you will be focusing on work and then raising kids?
Yeah, I think we'll see what this whole dynamic is of managing a child and a career. So we'll see how that works. And I hope that that I can continue moving up within CBS News. That it's been my home for so long. That I hope that there's future opportunities there too. But yeah, I think the next year is going to see many new challenges.
So I want to also ask you, I don't know like how to phrase this in words, but like to me, you look so feminine.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you're so powerful.
Oh, thank you so much.
How do you like balance that?
Oh, well, that means so much to me.
Feminine energy and masculine energy, like so well balanced. Like, how do you do that?
Well, thank you. I feel like you just saw right my essence is that I really pride myself in being a strong. I'm gonna cry. That being a strong person. I am a strong woman. You got me. Maybe I am pregnant, but yeah, it's like really it's really my essence that I'm reliable. You can believe in me. But it's definitely also what I think has held me back in my career is that people see me. I'm a short woman. And that's we all face things where people discount you, or they don't see your potential because of how you look, how you present, who you they have to. My sister is very similar to me. We always say that people have to get to know us and then they see us. But it's true, and it's for your viewers, and this is what we deal with as women is that how often I was just on an interview and the interview subject with the correspondent was shook his hand and was kind, but looked right through me, and it was just like, well, you're a senior man, and that's you've got your bias, he's got his biases, and he and I didn't take it personally, but I was just like, you notch it, you remember these little slights, you're like, this is that's what life is, and we all have our weaknesses, we all have the things that we see in ourselves that we think are that people discount, and we all have to it's all something that we work towards. But thank you for saying that and seeing that, because that's really, I don't want to ever lose my essence of being a kind and friendly person, because that's who I am, and that's what I think is important in life. But a lot of people, a lot of people have to toss that to fight through the cutthroat environment. And I'm so proud. I hate to say it in the condescending way. I hope I don't sound like that, but I'm so proud of you, like maintaining that feminine side at the same time, staying strong. I think Hillary Clinton couldn't win because she couldn't really source the feminine side. Right.
And then right now, the feminine side is so critical. And I'm so glad that there is someone like you in this planet Earth who can, still, manage to hold that. And then at the same time, be strong and continuously, never compromise on your private happiness, and then still have that corporate life.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much because, thank you. I mean, probably, maybe if I had a different demeanor, I would be further ahead in my career. Maybe things would have turned out differently, but I can only be me. And, I think that's what we all, are striving for in life, is to represent as our true selves. So, I think, thank you for seeing that.
Oh, no, I mean, thank you for being that way. Thank you so much. はい、ということで、今日はもう私もね、一番サラさんにご質問させていただきたかったことをね、お話しさせていただいて、もう皆さんが、きっとね、もうね、みんなも見えたと思うんだよね、サラさんの本当に素敵な人柄と、それからものすごい上手に自分をマネージされていらっしゃるところね、たくさん学んでいただけてたら嬉しいなというふうに思います。では本当にご視聴いただきましてありがとうございました。サラさん、Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful moments with my audience. ありがとうございました。